Question number 20, called Canvas Sails. Brienne's dad is building a sailboat. What is the area of the shaded canvas sails he needs to buy for the sailboat as shown in the diagram at the right? So these are the sails right here. So we need to find the area of this whole triangle. So in the solution it says find the height of the triangular sail, and the reason we need to find this height is because the area formed for a triangle is 1/2 base times height, or base times height divided by 2. We know the base length, it's a total of 5 meters. Now you could do these separate, but you could actually treat this as one triangle to find the area of once you find that height. So we could call the base 5, or if you do them separately, this one's 3 and that one's 2. So in this triangle on the right here, I know the length of the hypotenuse is 4 and the base is 2, so I'm going to use Pythagoras' theorem to find this height. The 4 would be the longest side because it's across from the right angle, and so the h and the 2 are the shorter two sides, or the legs some people call them. So here's my Pythagoras' theorem. Since the 4 is the longest side, the hypotenuse, then h squared plus 2 squared would equal 4 squared. So there's my Pythagorean theorem. H squared plus 2 squared equals 4 squared. 2 squared, or 2 times 2 is 4. 4 squared, or 4 times 4 is 16. Now I want to isolate the h squared, so I'm going to bring the 4 over and subtract it from the 16, or you can think of it like this. We could subtract 4 from both sides, like that. And so those add to 0. That's why this is just an h squared on the left here now. And so 16 minus 4 would be 12. So h squared equals 12. And so now we want to find h, so we take the square root of both sides. So we're actually doing this from this line to the next. The square root of h squared is just h. The square root and h squared, the square, cancel one another out, or are opposite operations. And so the square root of 12 is about 3.5 and it'd be meters, because these are in meters. So this is 3.5 here. So area is base times height divided by 2. So I'm doing the whole one big triangle. I'm not doing two separate ones and adding them together, although you could. It would work out to the same thing. So my base is 5, so I'll put 5 in place of the base. And the height is 3.5, so 3.5 goes in place of h. So 5 times 3.5 divided by 2 is 8.75 square meters. So I'm rounding to the nearest whole number. When I say this, you normally have to buy whole amounts of things. So Brienne's dad will need to buy about 9 square meters of canvas to make these sails. He might actually need a little bit more if he has some wastage, but I'm just rounding this to the nearest whole number.